House resumes and debate continues. Yes, Honorable Royer, you're recognized. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise tonight with a deep sense of pride and optimism, Mr. Speaker, to lend my full support to the 2025-2026 national budget, which was so ably presented by the Minister for Finance. I wish to commend him for his articulate, comprehensive, and forward-looking presentation that reflects the government's unwavering commitment, Mr. Speaker, to sustainable development, economic resilience, and the upliftment of our people, Mr. Speaker. This year's budget, Mr. Speaker, is both progressive and strategic, placing strong emphasis on some key sectors, including the one I'm humbly able to manage, which is agriculture, tourism, and of course the housing sector, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, before I continue, please permit me to say hello to the people of the Cottage Constituency. I must do that. People from Lago, which is made up of Cotton Hill, Grange, Dela Wazin, Tatan, Savambai, Gillett, Monalway, Tukuri, Cottage, Toto, Mopo, Kokoye, Clifton, Yard, and Capuchin, Mr. Speaker. These people, Mr. Speaker, has been very supportive. They praying for the PALREP, and I must add, very patient constituents, Mr. Speaker. So I just want to thank them once again for the support and love as I work with them as the PALREP for the next few years, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, being the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, I must say I'm very happy tonight. Because what was presented, Mr. Speaker, we can say that's a farmer's budget. That's a farmer's budget. I mean, when it's good, say it good. I cannot be a hypocrite. That's a farmer's budget. And just leaving here yesterday afternoon and going around, I met a few farmers. I got a few calls, and they are happy. They say, Minister, I know the Labour Party always look for us, but this year, it could not have been better, Mr. Speaker. So I want to thank the Minister for Finance. I want to thank the Prime Minister and all the architects and my cabinet colleagues of that budget. A big thank you on behalf of the farmers of Dominica, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but we are on a mission to transform the agricultural sector, and that is proven in what was articulated by Dr. McIntyre in the budget. So we are in transition in doing that. And that could only be possible because of the money spent and the investment made by this government in the sector since Hurricane Maria, Mr. Speaker. So far, we spent over $170 million, Mr. Speaker, post-Hurricane Maria, to inject in the sector, first for recovery, second for expansion of agriculture, Mr. Speaker. And what it did, it helped us increase our contribution to GDP. We're speaking about in 2018, after Hurricane Maria, we're about 11% contribution to GDP. Now, we in 2024, 2025, we are 17%, Mr. Speaker. And I must qualify that's the highest in CARICOM, Mr. Speaker. So when people are saying what we are doing for agriculture, it's the stats says differently. We had 17, and our close neighbors country like St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, they are 4%, 5%, and 7% respectively, Mr. Speaker. So that is just evidence of the level of investment we have put in the sector and the impact it has been having on the sector, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are in most persons now, even my good friend, Honorable Charles, speaking about food security. But nobody in the region takes the issue of food security like this government, Mr. Speaker. Because we are not just doing it or talking it, we are actually practicing it, Mr. Speaker, and implementing strategies to look at our food security. For example, that being not an issue for Dominica only, the food security issue is a regional issue, and I must say a global issue as well. The food import bill in the region, Mr. Speaker, is $6 billion. $6 billion, the food import bill in the region, which triggered CARICOM to strategize or to implement the CARICOM 25 by 2025. What it meant is for CARICOM countries to put in homegrown strategies to reduce the importation of food by 25% by the year 2025. Now it's extended to 2030. But remember, we've been so visionary. Our target is always 2030 to achieve 700 million to GDP by 2030. So CARICOM even formally, Mr. Speaker, because we saw 2025 was not practical at all when it was first launched. So we are sticking to 2030. We even broke it down further. We unpacked that. And we said we are going to reduce the importation of pork and chicken by 30% by 2030, Mr. Speaker. To further do that, we have been pushing our investment in import substitution. We have a white potato program, and recently, Mr. Speaker, we were able to supply all these supermarkets, Mr. Speaker, with cherry tomatoes. So we have not been importing that for the past months, and that's supplied by only one hydroponics farmer, Mr. Vince Morgan, between Mount Mass, Mr. Speaker. So our strategies, Mr. Speaker, they are working. Mr. Speaker, it's not no news. I mean, everybody who spoke before me mentioned the issue of climate change and impact it has been having on various sectors. But agriculture is the sector that is most being impacted by climate change. We cannot grow food out on open field like before. Dr. Mack will tell you, the member for the Valley will tell you, in Mount Prosper, they cannot grow the vegetables and the grains they were doing before open field. So we must invest in technology so we can circumvent that. However, Mr. Speaker, I just want to give you some stats of the work we have been doing. Though we are challenged by climate change and the cost of inputs, Mr. Speaker, and so many invasive pests and diseases that affect our crops, we were still able to record expansion in the sector. Because most people are saying you have to expand on local production, you have to grow what we eat. Our strategies are bearing fruits, and we are seeing increase in expansion of local production. So it's not news. So they don't lecture us because we do that already. Good advice is sound advice. We receive it. But just to say we're on track. For example, for fiscal year 2022, 2023, for dashing production, we're at 75.6 acres. The fiscal year after that, which is 23-24, we are 150.5 acres. And for last fiscal year, we are 254 acres of dashing, Mr. Speaker. That's an exponential increase in establishment for dashings. And we have about 45% of that is right in the Bells area, Mr. Speaker, of that area. So kudos to our farmers in Bells. They are doing well for dashing production. Ginger, Mr. Speaker, in 2022, 2023, we had 14 acres of ginger established. It increased by about 2 acres in 23-24, and last fiscal year, we had around 26 acres, Mr. Speaker. For sweet potatoes, for 2023-2024, we had 38.5 acres of sweet potatoes. And you'll realize I'm sticking to the root crops for now, because these are our resilient crops. They're underground, so we have a special strategy for root crops, which I'll speak to a bit later. And last fiscal year, we have 168 acres of sweet potato, Mr. Speaker. 10 years, we saw increase by 50% from 24 acres to around 50 acres. For vegetables, Mr. Speaker, both open field and under protected structure, Mr. Speaker, we had 52 acres in 23-24, And this fiscal year, we had 90 acres, Mr. Speaker. 90 acres. And we are not just giving data for giving data's sake. We have evidence because we are producing the seedlings on the agri stations. We are giving them for free. We have equipped our extension officers with devices so they can send records from the field directly to our control center, and we have the data in real time. So there's no fake figures, Mr. Speaker. So that's the kind of investment we are doing in the sector. For bananas, Mr. Speaker, in 2023, we had 120 acres. Last fiscal year, we had 291 acres, Mr. Speaker. And that's among 189 farmers, Mr. Speaker. Plantains, for 2024, we had 769 acres. Last fiscal year, we had 840 acres among 799 farmers, Mr. Speaker. So how they saying farming dead there now? I mean, the numbers are saying differently. And this is because of the direct intervention made by the government of Dominica, the Labour Party government, Mr. Speaker. We give inputs, fertilizer, we will give them protective clothing, we give them digging spade, we give them planting material, and that is the results that we are getting. So the talk shows are saying otherwise. So that's why I deliberately unpack the figures so we can see for ourselves we are expanding and just not talking, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, you know we have a strategy at the ministry of 5 C's. Dr. Anderson like to say 5 C's, but I'll keep on 4 tonight because the 5th one just tickles some nerves. But I'll get to that at some point. But cocoa is a crop, Mr. Speaker, that has huge potential, especially for the agro-processors. Over the past years, you know, we were struck by malaria. We had unmaintained fields by the owners. We were importing from Grenada. I mean, coming as minister, I say, no, that thing cannot continue, my brother. We can't have how much abandoned lands. I mean, farms, cocoa farms, and lands to expand. And importing cocoa beans from Grenada. No. Nothing wrong to import, but that was burning me. Yeah? So we went on a rapid expansion of cocoa, Mr. Speaker, from 2022 to 2024. We have rehabilitated over 200 acres, and we've established over 100 new acres of cocoa, Mr. Speaker. And last fiscal year, we distributed over 17,000 plants, which was able to do 56 acres, Mr. Speaker. And that's data, that's proven data. Records at the agri stations will show that. And of course, with extension feedback. You know, so the XA will no longer be called on to import cocoa beans for us again. Because we have invested, and now the persons who are doing chocolate and the cocoa sticks and cocoa powder can get the cocoa beans locally, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're able to do over the years, Mr. Speaker. In terms of coconut, I think that's the most vended item in Dominica. Coconut water, cocoa, Mr. Speaker. I mean coconut water, jelly water there. I think that's the most vended commodity. Roadside vending. And what we observe, Mr. Speaker, is that the guys are doing the coconut water, they were competing with our confectionery vendors. Because the tall varieties, the trees, the tall ones we have, that's what we saw coconut tablet, or coconut thing, and all the things, that's what we're using for it. So they were competing. So now what we did now, we brought in the water nuts, around 13,000 Brazilian dwarf nuts, Mr. Speaker, so that we could establish that. So them fellows that are doing coconut water, they want to climb no tall tree again, they can kneel down and harvest, Mr. Speaker, because they are dwarf coconuts. That's how easy it is. They can kneel down and just harvest coconut, Mr. Speaker. And they are very prolific. I shared some photo with some my colleagues when they behold look, they're very prolific plants. So they stay very, very short. So we've done that. Actually, we have an next 10,000 on order for this fiscal year. And what we did, we established some germplasm plots in some areas where we can get seeds from, so we can expand as the years goes by, Mr. Speaker. So that again was targeted. We not just wake up and say we're going to plant coconut like mad. It's strategic interventions. Honorable Charles. Okay? So citrus now. I have a special liking for citrus because of the potential I know that industry has. I can be challenged, you can do research. Dominica is the only country in the Caribbean that we can produce citrus as we speak. St. Vincent importing citrus fruit from Ireland. If a Jamaican say a lime on a tree now, it's Christmas. Okay, the only country in CARICOM that can produce citrus is Belize. That's where we import our body material from, and then Dominica. When I give that on citrus in the region, people say startled because they can understand what you're doing. You know, we were struck by Cristacea virus, by the citrus greening. Coupled with that, the Hurricane Maria, so it devastated the citrus industry. We see we have an advantage here, a competitive edge in doing citrus. We have to invest in citrus. So, Mr. Speaker, outside of the facility which we are doing, which I'll get to in a while, as we speak, we have 50,000 rootstock at the 1 mile agri station, which we are grafting to distribute to farmers. So by September, we'll start rolling out citrus plants to farmers at a subsidized cost.
Thank you.
But we have some requirements that we're going to put in place for that. I mean, in the past, I worked in the Ministry of Agriculture, so I know sometimes farmers will come in camouflage and say they're buying citrus, and man smuggle that to go to Antigua and St. Martin. They take invective, they tie the root, and they go with that. Them time we'll bear root citrus we're doing. So to avoid that, the extension officer have to ensure that the plots are lined, the holes are dug, the farmers are certified before we sell to them. Because if we say 50,000, we want the entire 50,000 to be in the soil. And farmers will come in, it's not a wash put and come, you have to be recommended, your planting area is suitable for the crop that we're going to do, and we'll sell to you at a subsidized cost. Because we imported from Belize, we pay quite a bit of dollars for that, and California, the boardwood that we brought in. So it came at a cost. We had to construct 2 nursery sheds at the Walmart station just to accommodate that, while we are doing the facility at Londonderry. So just to say the varieties that we're doing, we have the Washington Navel Orange, we have the Lanolite Orange, Valencia Orange, we have the Tahiti Lime, most people's favorite, we have the West Indian Lime as well, the Ruby Red Grapefruit, Tangerine, and Otanix. Okay? So, one more chance, you can tell the farmers in Marigot, that's the varieties we have, and they can contact the extension officer to register, put the numbers, and we will have them served as well. Honorable Chance made mention of, one of his recommendations was to do an agro-processing facility. I guess he was speaking about citrus and other fruits that we can do or we can process. Just to update the House, Mr. Speaker, we've been working with the Caribbean Development Bank on a project. About $168,000 US to contract experts to do for us a case study, well, I mean a feasibility study for a processing plant. They will have to do designs, costing, estimate, and the plant layout. Thus far, that's broken up into 4 contracts, and CBD now is finalizing the contracts with the tenderers so that we can issue contracts by August. So once the contractors are on stream, the consultants are on stream, by the end of first quarter next year, we'll have a full-blown study with designs, layout, and costing for a multi-purpose agro-processing facility for Dominican Pacific. So we are working on that. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. We can't do everything one time. We're hoping that the private sector will have to, take it up, but even not doing it, we have to try something. And if we have it constructed, we can then engage them in a PPP so that they can have it operational. But that is something that we know we have on our radar, and work has started in that light, Mr. Speaker. So we are building a $7.7 million facility at Londonderry. Why all that money? Someone may say. As I said earlier, citrus is being affected by 2 serious diseases. There is the Wangong-Ling, we call it the greening disease, and the Cristacea virus. It's knocking up plots. You don't have no treatment for that. You cannot spray it and cure it. Once it hits your field, it's dead. So one of the measures for that, we have to provide the farmers with clean planting material. So the facility now is to ensure that whatever we produce in the facility goes out to the field clean. Of course, you have to have your post-facility treatment to make sure it remains clean. And you spoke about research as well earlier. So just doing that program, which is highly certified, it's already the beginning of research. So I like your recommendation, but that is what we are doing when we do the facility, is research we are doing to make sure what we send out is certified planting material under controlled conditions. Biosafety is in check, everything is under control. So we are doing that, and I'm happy for your recommendation. Of course, we can expand, invite UE and other persons to assist us to see how we can do more research at the facility. But we are working on that, and we're spending $7.7 million, my brother, just for citrus in Londonderry. That's plenty money. So the farmers have to appreciate the kind of investment that we are doing to ensure that the citrus subsector remains alive and they are provided with clean planting material. So that's the message you need to bring to Marigold for me tonight. The level of investment and the reason why we are making that investment. Mr. Speaker, coffee. That's a multi-million-dollar crop. I think coffee is the most consumed beverage globally. I can stand to be corrected, but I think the last data showed that. Yes, am I right on that, right? Coffee. So for coffee, we have established a germplasm plot in Warner with 4 Arabica varieties, top-class coffee. I've been on the field in Costa Rica myself. I know the varieties, top class. So now we're waiting for it now to bear, harvest the seeds, and then we're going to produce planting material from that. So what we're doing now is waiting for the crop. As we get the crop, harvest the seeds, have them dried, prepared, and then plant coffee so we can provide, coffee plants so we can provide for farmers in time to come. Because the other sector, we envisage that we need to expand by about 500 acres. So we'll take it by strides, by phases. Every year we'll see our numbers, but that's our intention, to provide enough coffee planting material and quality coffee material. Quality because we know what is consumed on the global market, so we must plant that variety in order for us to get the proper price and sale that we're looking for, Mr. Speaker. The final thing, Mr. Speaker, is medicinal cannabis. And before I even go further on this, I won't be long before I see people start dancing in front of me. I must commend the guys at the ministry, Dr. Kazimi, Midian Baroque, and the Trotter, the Director Ken Stevenson, and PS, of course, for the work in really pushing the medicinal cannabis program forward in quick time. In quick time, Mr. Speaker. In March, Cabinet approved the National Advisory Committee, which is being headed by Dr. Daru, who is very passionate about that, and they are supported by about, I think it's eight subcommittees. So it's not a thing that the ministry will have a set of Rasta fellas pushing cannabis. No, that is not true. Because I hear in the comments too, you know what I'm saying? That is science-driven and data-driven. And what we see in that industry as an alternative source of revenue for our farmers. We need to diversify the income stream, Mr. Speaker. So we're not going to stay locked in a box when all the other countries ahead of us and playing part wholly. And we know there are opportunities within that sector we can take advantage of. I mean, that hypocrisy has to stop. We're in 2025. And we need everybody on board with us for it to be successful. We're not talking about legalization and free up weed. No, that's not the case. We're talking about industry that be well regulated, Mr. Speaker, and license provided for persons to go into it. So we have around 8 subcommittees, Mr. Speaker. One on medicinal and medicinal use, one on recreational and therapeutic use, one for legal and regulatory framework, one for industry and commerce, one for religious and ceremonial use, one for agronomy and agriculture, one for social and public health impacts, and a last committee for information and communication, Mr. Speaker. So when they meet, they make a recommendation to the authority, and then they will put a report together, Mr. Speaker, which will be forwarded to the Attorney General's chambers for review, and in the best conscience and wisdom, they will give us a bill that is foolproof and one that is in time, and one that is in the best interest of our conventional farmers, and of course, one that will promote an industry that's regulated so farmers can invest and make something substantial. So it's not a Vicky thing. I really want to say it again. To persons who have the impression that man can just plant weed, that's not the case. is a regulated industry from seed to the shelf, Mr. Speaker, with full traceability. For example, if you have a greenhouse in Pocassi planting your cannabis, every plant will have a code, and you can trace that plant from your greenhouse to the shelf where it's being sold. So it's not that is high science, Mr. Speaker. High science that. So I just want to just raise that there to let people know we know what we are doing, and we are advised by the best expert in the Caribbean, Dr. Michael Emmanuel, who's a Dominican, Mr. Speaker. The government, in its wisdom, has contracted him as our lead consultant and advisor to help us build a sustainable cannabis industry, and he's doing a wonderful job. He's done it in St. Vincent. He has provided advice to Malta. He's the lead researcher in cannabis in the region for UB Mona, so he knows what he's speaking about. So we are guided by that, Mr. Speaker. And we thank him for making himself available to assist us in our first, we seek to build a sustainable cannabis industry in Dominica. Mr. Speaker, so just to expand a bit for the licensing, so far they have proposed 11 or 9 I think, 9 defined licensing categories. So that there'll be license, a special license for cultivation, there'll be one for processing, a separate license for testing, one for dispensing, a license for consumption and lodges, there'll be one for transportation, there'll be a license for research, there'll be a license for import and export, and a license for waste disposal, Mr. Speaker. So as I spoke about testing, Mr. Speaker, we are already getting inquiries from the authorities in the region, from Barbados, from Antigua, for St. Lucia for testing. Because at the Bureau standards, we have the capacity in Dominica to test the cannabis, Mr. Speaker. And it doesn't exist in Barbados, it doesn't exist in OCS. So when we had our symposium, what we did, we invited all the authorities that exist in the region to come and share their experiences with us. So we are operating on lessons learned. Because, I mean, we are behind, they are in front. But so Barbados Authority was there, St. Lucia was there, St. Vincent, St. Kitts, and Antigua. We had professors from UE, we had persons from Canada, we had a set of international experts guiding us on that. About the main purpose, Mr. Speaker, for inviting them, we had OECS and ECB as well, so that they could advise us on lessons learned, because they have gone down that route already. Because now we are doing it, we don't want to go and make mistakes that what they would have made. So we invited them, and they were able to share with us their experiences, and that will help us develop a bill that makes sense and that is foolproof, Mr. Speaker. So I want to thank them for being there and sharing experiences with us. And I can say, Mr. Speaker, we had a very successful symposium, groundbreaking symposium. Our Rastafarian community, they were invited, they felt appreciated, and they understand what we are doing, having a regulated medicinal cannabis industry, Mr. Speaker. So I'll rest my case on cannabis. I hope I do not pinch anybody by doing that. But I'll continue. As you see, Mr. Speaker, I mix it with the other crops, because the ministry, we are treating it as a crop. Because before it goes into medicinal, we have to do agronomic practices first to grow it. So you have to have a technical package, we have to know how to treat it. So it's a plant. So it's a mix of all plants. So now I'll move to vegetable seeds now, Mr. Speaker. So in expanding our vegetable production, Mr. Speaker, we always work with the Chinese mission at the One Mile Agri Station, the technical mission headed by Dr. Son. And for last fiscal year, they were able to distribute 416,200 seedlings to farmers across the island, Mr. Speaker. And we did that by helping them, or helping the communities promoting the backyard gardening, Mr. Speaker, because we're conscious of the CNCDs as the PM always speak about. And I think we helped the Green Thumb program, CAPSET, as well, by providing seedlings. So we were able to give out over 400,000 seedlings to farmers, schools, etc., across the island. And we'll continue to do so because we know the importance of vegetables, not just for your health, but we do import quite a bit of vegetables. You see it on the shelves at the fresh market, the S-Mass, the big fishes. We see them, so we are targeting the high value ones so we can reduce on importation. Hence the reason why we are trying to promote our program going forward, Mr. Speaker. In terms of banana and plantains, that's a sector we did very well last financial year. We spent over $1.1 million bringing in planting material from France. That's the cultured material, Mr. Speaker, and provide inputs to farmers to do that, to cultivate them. And we have seen the results. I mean, they had to seek additional market for plantains. So we have broken all record in terms of production for the past 5 years in terms of plantains. And we had to leg next year, go to the US and get some new markets to export plantains, all because of the investment we have made in plantain and banana and our deliberate thrust to expand production, Mr. Speaker. So it's working and the evidence is there. And I understand that we had a mission lately and we will get some more markets for plantains. So we'll continue planting plantains and bananas, Mr. Speaker. These are two crops that we want to know back on. So, and we'll continue expanding because we understand the livelihoods that it assists in the rural areas. Mr. Speaker, the white potato program, last fiscal year we were able to distribute over 1,000 bags of white potato. But I must say that's a program that we have on the review. Because most times we would receive the seeds very late. And we are not getting the output that we want. We must be true to ourselves. The ratio we would like is like 1 pound to 10 pounds. And we are seeing for the past 2 years we're getting 1 to 5, 1 to 6, somewhat there. All because of the timing that we receive it. Because a crop have a particular timing for planting and harvesting. So it's under review. And we're trying to see, at the ministry, we organize a special committee with technicians to review the program, and they will forward a proposal to me. But we're going to see how we can at least provide ourselves with planting material for our lab at Portsmouth, see if we can bring in varieties, off-season varieties from Latin America, and also see how we can secure seeds from harvest for an expanding season from the elite seeds that we would have procured for planting. So we have a strategy we're working towards, but it's something that needs some massage and some technical thought. So I'm waiting a report from the technicians to see how we can have a better white potato season, at least this year coming there, because the challenges we are faced, we need to address them. And for me, 1 to 5 is not what we're looking for. 1 to 8, 1 to 10 is that's the kind of mark we're looking for. So we must visit it, and we're doing some work in that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so I mentioned culture a while ago, just to say, last year, we spent a year, last financial year, finalizing the protocols for some key commodities, because it's not just open the lab and start doing mass production. Every crop have a particular protocol it must follow to do mass propagation. So Trevor Douglas and the team at the lab, they would have to make sure the solvents are correct, the media is okay, do the testing around them, see how they're producing, see how they're keeping up and all that. So we did that, and we were successful in doing that for bananas, plantain, pineapples, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, sweet cassava, vanilla, and dasheen, Mr. Speaker. And we have even done trial plots for dasheen. And I need to share a text with Mr. Speaker. I mean, I must share that because when I talk, I like evidence. So while I was sitting here, I got a text from a staff member at the ministry. And she said, "Hi, Minister, I left a green garbage bag on my desk for you. It has dasheen in it. Trevor Douglas brought it. He said it's from a tissue culture plants for you to sample." So even harvested, Mr. Speaker. So there's live evidence. So we have even, the protocol is so advanced. We done a trial plot on the station and we're harvesting. So tomorrow I'll have some tissue culture fried dasheen for breakfast. And I'll give my reviews of that to Dr. Henderson, because I know he likes dasheen, so he's from the you are planting that, Dr. Henderson? Very good. But it's culture special. You know, so that's the evidence, Mr. Speaker, that the lab is producing, and we're already harvesting crops from the lab's production, Mr. Speaker. Just to mention that, Mr. Speaker. So now, this fiscal year, we are moving into the commercialization stage now. So we have done the testing, We have the protocols correct, so now it's for mass production. And to assist us, who's headed by Dr. Nadia Paquette, Anselm, has supported us by providing us with a technician from St. Vincent who has years of experience in doing mass propagation of bananas and plantain. So he'll be here next month to spend 2 weeks with us at the lab so he can walk through the process with Trevor Douglas and his staff so we can get it right. We don't make no mistakes. We believe in persons that have expertise and we like our training. So somebody have done it before is coming to show us how to do it. And again, I'd like to thank Dr. Paquette for supporting us on that program, Mr. Speaker. In terms of livestock, I mentioned earlier our target is to reduce the importation of chicken and pork by 30% by 2030. But that calls for investment. So we have been supporting our farmers, that is the chicken farmers, the pork farmers, small ruminants, with infrastructure. And we have spent, Mr. Speaker, $7.9 million just buying material and paying for labor to construct pens, Mr. Speaker, for the farmers. That was like a pure grant program. So far, we were able to complete 81 pens. That include 71 piggery. So with a total capacity of 1,000 pigs, 33 boiler and layer pens that can hold over 17,000 birds, 25 pens for sheep and goats that can hold over 220 small ruminants. We also provided small ruminants, that is sheep and goat farmers with fencing material. Over 120 farmers were supported with that. And of course, we are still in building rabbit pens, and we assisted our beekeepers, 15 beekeepers with beehive, Mr. Speaker. But that is not in isolation. So we are doing the infrastructure to grow the birds and the pigs. And now we are building the abattoir at 6.4 million when you add the fencing and add the incinerator and the backup generator, $6.4 million to process the birds. So we tackling the entire value chain, Mr. Speaker. It's not just build the pen and leave the farmers on their own. We build an abattoir to provide a readily available market for the farmers and a structure that is safe and meet the requirements of food safety standards, Mr. Speaker. So when we process at that facility, we have healthy foods, we can consume wholesome products that we can sell to our local market, Mr. Speaker. So the abattoir is about 70% complete. And by September, October this year, Mr. Speaker, which is the full completion of the abattoir. And I'm hoping that we can commission before the end of the year and have it fully functional in time to receive the first set of birds and pork that we would have invested in earlier on, Mr. Speaker. So work in progress, and we're doing well in that. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, what we have identified in the value chain for livestock is the cost of feed. The cost of feed, the cost of production for livestock, 70% of that is just the cost of feed. We have been experiencing shortages in times of sea swells. I mean, until they made a poster with me and how much goat and pig and thing running behind me because they say me not bringing the boat, but you know it's private sector that bringing in the feed. So we are invested in a feed mill in order to ease up that pressure in times of shortages. But the feed mill is not to do the conventional feed that we know. We are trying to do local feed using our conventional materials like cassava and our local material to really blend and the good mix. So far we have signed a contract to retrofit a shed at Portsmouth to house the mill, and we are finalizing the tendering process to actually purchase the feed mill plant to do the mixing. And I'm hoping to enter in a PPP, public-private partnership with somebody to actually operate and run that facility. But at least the government will have step in and put in the infrastructure there for operation. So that's a critical link in the value chain in terms of livestock production, which we have addressed, and I think government must be coming for that, for the foresight in making that critical investment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, another critical subsector that we have placed our radar on since last financial year is the apiculture sector, Mr. Speaker, the production of honey. The honey market is huge, Mr. Speaker, really huge. And we were able to make some investments. We were able to purchase all the material to build a queen bee rearing facility at Londonderry on our station. Because in meeting with the beekeepers, we consult with them. The issue was the production of the queen bee to assist in the production of honey. So we're going to do that so we can provide them with queen bees. And we are targeted to increase the number of hives island-wide by 90%. We are about 700 hives now, and we are going to construct over 580-something hives to give to the farmers, Speaker, to expand honey production. So far, we have purchased all the material. No, we have signed contracts. Yes, right. We have signed contracts for all the material. They'll be on island soon. We have signed contracts with 2 contractors already. So as the materials arrive, they can construct the hives, and we can provide about 600 hives to farmers across the island, and that will increase our honey production by around 90%, Mr. Speaker. Because we see the potential of honey. There's a lot of fake honey on the market. Actually, 30% of the honey traded globally is fake honey. So there's a room for us in Dominica to provide our pure Dominican honey and take advantage of this lucrative subsector. So we spend no effort in doing that, and we are pushing the honey subsector. We have received numerous accolades for the past 2 years in terms of our taste, our quality of honey in Europe, in the region, internationally. So Dominica is known for top quality honey, so we cannot turn our eyes on that. So we invest in the beekeepers, and we're going to grow this sector exponentially, Mr. Speaker, in the next financial year. In terms of feeder road, Mr. Speaker, well, over the past 3 years, we spent about 30 million. D4 was the last benefit. He gets Chatwal for over $6 million. Now it's being used as a bypass because we're doing the Granby Road. So it's in dual use now. And last financial year, last budget, when it was presented, we made mention of Captain Bruce, we made mention of Dalfonsi, the Station Road, the Kaum Road. But so far, we have signed the contracts for Captain Bruce for sure. We have signed contract for section of Kaum, and we have also signed contract for Niba Atli, Mr. Speaker. And the others like Dalfonsi and the Station Road, the contract will be signed somewhere mid-August. So although Honorable Charles, we were not able to actually start construction, but the investment is secured. The tendering process took some time, but the contract is signed. I think it's easy as the contractor, right? You met with him, you went on the field, and you mustn't be hypocrite, you know, Mr. Charles, because you did side visit with them people. You was the engineer. You meet the contractor, and you come in and still talking about you don't know the road coming. Dr. Max said that the contract was signed in his budget address. You see somebody this morning and say the road coming, my brother? Okay, ready to sign. Okay? I know your families, you have some land there too, so you have special interest in that area as well. You're right, exactly. So it is signed, and we'll see construction commencing very soon on that. And of course, our farmers in the Kaum area as well. The contractor already has mobilized. He's doing some of the footing for the retaining wall offsite. Actually, we attempted the Kaum end via the Meru Cuba Road. And we had a failure, so we could not go in and do more work. So we have to do a wall first for us to enter, because to access that end for Salisbury will be way too long with the trucks. So the contractor is building the footing offsite. He'll come in, do the wall, and then we'll move in and do some works there. But Feeder Road is on the radar. We see the value of proper farm access to the farmers, not just for they getting there easier and faster, but of course so we can pull out our produce without having any mechanical damage. So how we take the farm, that's how we want it to reach the supermarket shelf. So we know the value of Feeder Roads, and we are not compromising on that, Mr. Speaker. Okay? One of the hot topic one, Mr. Speaker, was farm labor last budget. And even recently, when Cabinet, I must thank my colleagues for approving the farm labor policy, Mr. Speaker. Everybody had issues, even myself as a farmer, cannot get adequate quality farm labor to assist us in producing. With all our targets that we have set, if we don't have the hands to do it, it's not making sense. So Cabinet took a deliberate decision to approve a policy, but it's not just a policy to bring in migrant labor, it's a policy that have other components which we must pay attention to as well. I know the hot one is if migrant labor, we get a lot of requests, but thus far, we're able to assist some farmers in approving visas through the Ministry of National Security to bring in farm labor, properly vetted. It's not bringing in migrants, but bringing in farm labor. They have a proper agreement to sign with the Ministry of National Security, but just to reiterate, if you are a solid commercial farmer, minimum 5 acres of land fully cultivated, you express interest to the Ministry of Agriculture saying that you need a farm labor. We would then send our extension officers to verify that you have that land and the establishment is on the ground and you're in need of farm labor. We would have that recommendation. Then our ministry writes to the Ministry of National Security recommending farmer A for 2 or 3 farm labor, and it's still left to the discretion of the Ministry of National Security to provide the visas for the farm labor to come in. Okay? And remember, I said farm labor, I said migrant. I did not say Haitian, I said migrant. So you can bring in Indians, you can bring in Filipinos, you can bring in DR, you can bring from anywhere. But it's migrant labor we're encouraging, but you have to meet certain requirements. It's not a wash your foot and come. We're looking at commercial production. And the component, Mr. Speaker, of that policy is mechanization. So that is where, Mr. Speaker, I want to really thank the government of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Speaker, for providing us with 10 mini tractors, 2 large tractors, and 20 rototillers, Mr. Speaker, to assist us in meeting the needs of the farmers. So mechanization was one of the pillars of our strategy. And we have gotten the equipment. We are going to reestablish our agricultural engineering unit. We will manage them to ensure that they are deployed properly, deployed for the persons who really need them, and not to just a friend, to ensure that they are maintained, not just when they're broken, but prevent the maintenance so they can last, and to make sure they're recorded and they last us for a while. So we will, Mr. Esprit, Jean Esprit, Nicholas Esprit, sorry, is the person who have identified since last financial year to head this unit, and then we'll staff that unit to make sure we provide our farmers with the use of the machines for land preparation. We know in cultivation, land preparation is the component that takes most time and most money. So if you can assist the farmers for a little price just to pay your gas to get it to them, that will help us a lot, and that'll now reduce the need for labor. In addition to that, we're also blessed to receive an excavator, which we'll use to do our maintenance of the roads. Mr. Henderson asked for it for MOOP already. I told him yes, it's fine. Yeah, but yes, it will go to the maintenance of our farm access road, make sure the greens are cleared, and spread the tariff road and compact, make sure everything is under control. So again, we want to thank our friends from the People's Republic of China for that gift, costing over $1.1 million, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Ambassador Chu. So, Mr. Speaker, as I move on, Mr. Speaker, to this financial year, I'm so excited for the incentive package Dr. McIntyre blessed us with at the ministry, the rebate program. And this afternoon, for some reason, myself and Honorable Defoe, we're going to have lunch. And on the radio, on a particular radio station, I heard a particular gentleman, and I'm certain that gentleman was one of the architects of Honorable Charles' response to the budget. And I can recall, as I know before, but as the Honorable Charles said, thanks for the incentive package, you like the rebate, it is a good thing. But the same person who I think assisted Charles in putting his presentation together is saying there's no incentive for agriculture in the budget. I say, after all, man, why people lying here like that? I'm certain that they assisted on my Charles, I'm certain. I'm not calling him, I can't even my brother. I'm certain he assisted Mr. Charles, and he on Q95 saying today, there's no incentive for agriculture in the budget. I say, Magwisa. No, man. We can do better than that. You know what I'm saying? However, so, I'm going to try, just take some notes for me, please. Take some notes so you can communicate later to your partner. Okay? So we have designed a rebate program, Mr. Speaker, and that's just to incentivize farmers to invest. Because government is doing a lot, and we think it's a point now where farmers have to own up and put something into the industry as well. We have those who are doing it and want to encourage more. And as I want that, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the public officers who are farmers. We have a lot of policemen, firemen, teachers, persons working in different government departments that are serious commercial farmers. And they're the ones going to the bank, taking the loan, and investing.
Honorable, 10 more minutes.
Okay, Mr. Speaker. Just 10 more.
Speaker, I move that the Honorable Roland Ray be given additional 10 minutes.
Seconder.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, it has been moved and seconded that the Honorable Roy be given an additional 10 minutes. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? Honorable Roy, you are given an additional 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really appreciate that. So we have a rebate program, as Dr. Mack presented. So persons who are interested in doing 5,000 birds minimum broilers for housing, infrastructure, and even stock and feed, you can get back 40% of that cost, but a maximum of 20,000, Mr. Speaker. For a person doing greenhouses, those that are protected, fully enclosed, to include hydroponics, you can get back 50% of the cost, to a maximum of $20,000. Those doing the partially protected greenhouses, the normal greenhouse style, the tunnel type, you can also get 50% cost back up to $9,000. And of course, we focus on the C's, our citrus, cocoa, coffee, where we can get 50% of the cost back if you cultivate a new plot or if you rehabilitate your plot, up to $2,000 or $1,500 respectively, Mr. Speaker. So that's to incentivize farmers, to encourage them to go back into the soil. You have abandoned plots, let's rehabilitate. You increase in planting coffee, cocoa, citrus, we can give you back half of the cost if you have it planted. So I mean, Mr. Speaker, it cannot get better than that, Mr. Speaker. Not many countries offer that to their farmers. So I just want to urge the farmers that we have a program for you. Come in at the ministry, see us, and we'll walk you through the process of how you can benefit from that program, Mr. Speaker. Okay? So, Mr. Speaker, just to give some quick statistics there, for the poultry, we're looking at 20 poultry units, about 5,000 square feet, with a capacity of up to 100,000 birds in total. That, with 4 production cycles a year, a farmer can make $585,000, Mr. Speaker, in 1 year from that unit. If we look at our citrus, our cocoa, and our coffee, you have a full plant matured between 5 to 7 years full bearing capacity. For the citrus, you can make over 15 million pounds, which will generate approximately $22.7 million, Mr. Speaker. That's for the total acreage that we want to establish. And similar for the cocoa, you can make up to 4.2 million for the targeted acreage, and for the coffee as well, Mr. Speaker. So we did the maths, we see the output, we know it can contribute to the economy, so that's why we're offering that to the farmers to invest, and of course you'll be guided by the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, another component that's very close to my heart is the root crop subsector. Over the years, we have been challenged, Mr. Speaker, in really expanding the root crops as we would like, particularly the white yams, because of the yam rust that we have. So critical root crops that we focus on mainly, traditionally, will be the yams, the dashing, sweet potato, tanyas. But each of them have a disease that impacting or affecting production. So as I said, the white yams, we have the yam rust, the sweet potatoes, we have the sweet potato borer, the tanya, the yellow wooden disease, wine low, and the dashing, of course, we have the mosaic virus. So that's challenging production, Mr. Speaker. So what we're planning to do is to, somewhere in September, to have a two-day seminar with the farmers, technicians. We'll invite ICA, FAO, UE, who's kind of key partners, Mr. Speaker, to sit down, to assist the ministry in developing a strategic plan for the revitalization of the root crop subsector, Mr. Speaker. We're taking it very seriously because root crop is one of our resilient crops. When hurricane blow, it's on the ground, it can stay, it can last, it's got a long shelf life, and of course, it has a huge export potential for root crops, for our traditional hucksters, and for next year. So we don't want it to slip away from us. We are going to arrest that, Mr. Speaker, in September. If we can do it for cannabis, we can do it for root crop. We're going to have a two-day symposium, bringing the expert, bringing our farmers, and come up with a plan for the revitalization of the root crop subsector, Mr. Speaker. So that's our plan going forward, Mr. Speaker. So our targets for this fiscal year, we're looking at establishing 400 acres of yams, 150 acres of tanya, dashing 600 acres, sweet potatoes 300 acres, ginger 100, turmeric 30, and sweet cassava 40 acres. So that's our target. So the symposium will inform a strategy going forward. How to do that? For now, we have already identified planting material as one of the key things. Clean planting material is one of the key things that we need to bring forth. Of course, we have our lab that can assist us, and of course, we lower conventional things like mini setting and other to provide clean planting material to farmers so we can meet those targets, Mr. Speaker. We'll continue our banana plantains. We gave out quite a bit of plants last year. So now we have the F2 generation, and the science shows that the F2 yield about 50% more than the F1s. So we're expecting even a greater bumper crop next season, Honorable Minister for Trade. So we need to get some markets for them, and we'll continue pushing the expansion, as I said, of plantains and dashing. One thing we have to introduce for the plantains, Mr. Speaker, seeing that we are now in the US market, we need to step up our game in terms of standards and quality. So we're going to step up on our black scotch control program and introduce sleeving to the plantains so we can have a cleaner fruit for export. So we'll focus with the farmers who are producing for the US market to make sure that we have no quality issues, Mr. Speaker. Okay, so that's our plan going forward. In terms of livestock expansion, like last year, we said that we're going to target 50 pork farmers that can provide a 6 breeding units so we can have enough pork to supply our abattoir. And it is forecasted that with that setup, we can have at least around 945,000 pounds of meat per year for that, which will significantly put a dent into our importation of pork, Mr. Speaker. And we'll continue to invest in apiculture, and I mentioned earlier, to build the pens and build the hives, to distribute to our farmers. In terms of feeder road, Mr. Speaker, we'll do some work on the Mopo feeder road in Granby. We'll continue doing some work there. And of course, the Buck feeder road in Portsmouth, Mr. Speaker, which falls within the boundaries of my constituency, an area where we have a lot of farmers who do high-end or high-value vegetable crops. In that, even onions, they produce on that length of road. You know, so the area that we need gives our attention. The road is deplorable, and we're looking to see how fast we can do that intervention to make it easier for farmers to access. Another one, Mr. Speaker, that's very close to my heart. It looks like everything is close to my heart tonight. But this one is the agro-insurance, Mr. Speaker. Agriculture insurance. And I'd like to quote, Mr. Speaker, from page 13 of the Barrett Address, Mr. Speaker. Permit me to quote the Minister for Finance. And I quote, additionally, considering the current vulnerability of our agricultural sector to natural disasters, a crop insurance scheme will be implemented to protect farmers from catastrophic loss. The scheme will prioritize vulnerable commodities such as plantains, bananas, and other high-risk crops. In the first instance, this initiative would include joint contribution from farmers and government. Mr. Speaker, I think that is very progressive, Mr. Speaker. It's very progressive. And I want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister for ensuring it made it to the budget, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank him for that. I mean, our green insurance is nothing new to us. In terms of bananas, we have green crop. That's what sustained the banana subsector, Mr. Speaker. In Grenada, last year, April, they invested $500,000, Mr. Speaker. Last year, April. Last year, July, they got struck by burial. COPEF, who is based right here, paid them of $3.9 million within 15 days, Mr. Speaker. In Jamaica recently, Jamaica got paid off by Grace Kennedy for similar issues in claiming on them through a park metric scheme, Mr. Speaker. So why not Dominica? We are the most vulnerable because of our location in the island chain. We cannot wait when we are struck to go and look for monies to help farmers. We need to be proactive. We need to be forward-looking. Let's ensure, and you know, we have something we can go to when we are struck to compensate within record time. That is resilience, Mr. Speaker. How fast you bounce back. And I want to say thank you to the Ministry of Finance and the PM again for putting this there. Currently, I'm the chair of the Agri-Insurance Subcommittee for the OECS Agricultural Ministers. We saw St. Lucia sign off with Lynch Insurance 2 weeks ago. Grenada is with COPEF, and the other islands are coming through. So it's our turn now. I'm looking forward to seeing that come to fruition in terms of payment by first quarter of next year, before the next hurricane season, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the
1 minute.
okay. 20 past already? Jesus Christ.
Yes, it is 8:48.
Okay.
You started at
I can repeat.
7:48. 7:38. Sorry.
So the first thing I got passed.
Oh, no, the first 10 minutes. Sorry, apologies. You have an additional 10 minutes now.
All right.
Sorry,
all right.
sorry.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yes, after all, man.
Yeah, you see, your presentation is interesting. So I'm deep
Yes,
into
yeah,
the
so it's everybody fast.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you have
So-
10
so-
plus 1.
So I was saying, Mr. Speaker, having said all that, it is evident that, Mr. Speaker, that the transformation of the sector, Mr. Speaker, is no longer a vision. It is a reality in motion, Mr. Speaker. So we're not doing that now. It is happening in real time. So if you summarize what we did at the ministry, we look at the entire value chain, Mr. Speaker. We identify the gaps and we put systems and measures in place to address those gaps, Mr. Speaker. So we have ramped up the production, Mr. Speaker, of tree crops and other planting material, as I've mentioned, making them available to farmers. We have identified key commodities to invest in, Mr. Speaker, to expand our production base. We have modernized our practices through investment in new technology, Mr. Speaker, which I mentioned. We have also identified arable lands, as Honorable Joseph mentioned, to encourage persons to farm, young farmers in particular. We have created better access to farms by investing in feeder roads, Mr. Speaker. We have linked production to market through decks here, Mr. Speaker, which I mentioned it as well. We are investing in critical supporting infrastructure to ensure production is supported, Mr. Speaker. We have also welcomed critical other industries within the sector, Mr. Speaker. I would mention what, but it's clear to know. So farmers can have some other alternative source of income, Mr. Speaker. And we continue to build resilience by securing our investment through an insurance scheme, Mr. Speaker. So we have locked the entire chain from farm to market to make sure that we have a resilient and sustainable agricultural sector, Mr. Speaker. So I want to thank Mr. Speaker, my Permanent Secretary, of course, Mr. Anselm, and the staff of the ministry, my colleague, Honorable Lifo and Honorable Joseph at the ministry, our partners, you cannot not mention them, the People's Republic of China, the government of Cuba, ICA, FAO, WUSC, CARDI, DEXIA, and the World Bank, Mr. Speaker, for all the partnership during the last fiscal year, for having us come through with such a remarkable and impressive report card to report to the people of Dominica, Mr. Speaker. And just before I move quickly to my constituents, Mr. Speaker, I would like to link what we are doing, or just endorse quickly the investments that have been made in tourism. Because I believe every dollar spent in tourism, based on studies done by the World Bank and by ICA and Carbon Tourism Organization, at least 30 to 50 cents is added to the income of a farmer, Mr. Speaker. So I endorse fully every investment made in tourism, because more tourists come, more mouths to feed, more food to plant. So we welcome an investment made in tourism, Mr. Speaker. So as I move to my constituency, Mr. Speaker, because remember, I'm a rep first before being a minister, so I must touch them before I leave tonight. I want to thank them again, Mr. Speaker, for their love, their praise, and their support for the past 2.5 years I've been the parent for Cottage, Mr. Speaker. I love working with them, very patient, understanding people, and they have me in their praise, and I thank them for the support. We were able to complete the restaurant at Canapac for the Ministry of Tourism. I'm hopeful that Minister will have a commissioning very soon of the restaurant Canapac. I'm working with the Forestry Division. My colleague, Honorable Frederick, will assist us in doing some maintenance, assign a staff there to assist with the trail maintenance so we can upkeep the park. The Clifton Back Road is complete. Thank you, Honorable Minister. That's an investment of over $1.1 million, and we had to widen the scope because we had to replace all the pipelines because they were all corroded. So I thank DOASCO for assisting us. They spent close to $100,000 just repairing the new lines at Clifton. It's complete now, and we'll have a commissioning of that back road pretty soon, Minister. We did a small project in Kokoye, where we did the widening of the road at Kokoye, a road that could only take one vehicle at a time. We did some widening now, 2 vehicles can pass there comfortably. On of playing field, we did a whole rehab of the field and the facility. Through Kudme, I want to thank all the constituents who came out every Sunday to repair the facility and to manicure the field, build the concrete wicket, fix the washroom facilities. And now it is full gear. We're having leagues going on and activities there every other Sunday. I know where I was born in Mont Soleil, a place they call in Cottage. We need to do the village road. It was done things in terms of adding carbon, Mr. Speaker. So it's a while now. So that will start on committee of service, and then we'll continue for a contract soon after. Our young guys at Tukari on our mariculture program, they are doing the CMOS cultivation right in Tukari Bay. They have stepped up, and now they are doing the drying and packaging and labeling of the CMOS, and it's one of the shells for sale. I want to comment on that, and they have my support in doing that. As I'm in Tukari, Mr. Speaker, I want to remind the House that the poker run is on the 25th of this month. So don't forget, mark your calendars, be Tukari first on the 25th of August for poker run, the 3rd edition of poker run at Tukari, which is the 25th of August. And we'll commence the rehabilitation of our jet in Tukari to accommodate that. We just did some works on the Allen Lane in Savannah, Mr. Speaker. That's one of the roads that the Sampai community was really asking for. We are doing 3 phases. We did phase 1, it's completed, and we are looking to continue phase 2 pretty soon. And I was happy that we could have these 10 young guys fully engaged on the road during the period of construction. And as I said, we are seeing how quickly we can get some more resources to continue that. The Cabris Marina, me and Phil share it. It falls within my boundary, but it's in Portsmouth itself. We are happy for the construction of the marina. We are happy for the employment that it has created. I'm seeing young men who would normally sit on the block every day and now engaged at the marina, Mr. Speaker, and working and can make some money to assist them with their livelihoods and support their families. So we're happy for that, and of course we're looking for the completion of the marina to create more full-time jobs going forward, Mr. Speaker. I want to shout my friends at the Cotton Hill expansion project. They have been asking for the water expansion. We are here, that's above the Attorney General's home. They really need that. And we have the proposal in, and this financial year for sure, we are looking to have this project implemented. I got the blessings from the Honorable Pima already on that, so just to secure the resources so we can commence that. For housing, we've done 1 or 2 interventions, but directly through the PM's office. I want to thank him personally for that. And I know the Minister for Housing promised me that this financial year, they will throw their eyes on Cottage. And she has even further promised that she will visit herself to come and see some of our friends that will need some housing repairs. So I'm looking forward to that. I know the PS will come, but the Minister will come. But they'll come Cottage and see what's happening. so we can at least assist our patient constituents who have been waiting for a while for some housing assistance in the constituency. So I'm making a special plea on their behalf for that, and I'm happy for the promises that was made, and I'm fully confident that we'll get our fair share this financial year. So, Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I would like again, I would like to lend my support, my fullest support to this budget, which I have no doubt will transform the lives of Dominicans. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Lockhart,
Thank you, Mr.
you
Speaker.
are recognized. You may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I see the night is still young. And colleagues have had their 7 p.m. coffee. So you can give me the free will to speak for an hour and a half. Free will. Mr. Speaker, I rise to give my contribution to the 2025-2026 budget, which was confidently presented by the Minister of Finance to the Honorable House. Let me say that I support this budget without any reservation. Mr. Speaker, over the weekend, I took the opportunity to scroll through social media, and I read some news, pages online. And I also went to my favorite Dominican Breaking News because they post everything, the good, the bad, and the in-between. And they posted how they get it. They add no salt, they don't remove anything, raw. So I read through the comments, and I read through some posts, and there was nothing, seriously, no serious criticisms about the budget. They had a few questions here and there, and questions which I think were salient enough, and I think that we can address while we promote the budget. So, with all that, I draw the conclusion that the vast majority of Dominicans are in support with the contents of this budget, and we must commend the government for that. This $1.2 billion budget was strategically developed in alignment with the Labour Party's ongoing mandate. A mandate set in motion after rescuing Dominica from a disastrous state which was left by the United Workers' Party administration, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it represents our consistent efforts towards our national mission to grow and expand the economy, to create opportunities for everyone in this country. We are enhancing the country's infrastructure, we're positively impacting the quality of lives of all Dominicans, and decisively positioning our country on a path to sustainable economic viability. The Labour Party's first mission upon assuming office was to engage in what we call a rescue mission. Mr. Speaker, and some may ask, but what rescue mission? And it's important to refresh the memory of those who may have forgotten and to educate those who simply did not know. So, my fellow citizens of this great nation, during the United Workers' Party term in government, Dominica endured a literal pounding at the hands of a reckless administration whose actions severely damaged our country's economy, institutions, and affected the lives of citizens in a profound negative way. This is the same UWP clan, Mr. Speaker, that the members of the opposition are aligned with. You see they laughing? Yes, Mr. Speaker, they are all active members of a united workers group. And if they are not associated, then they should sell it to the public in a transparent way. And I say group, Mr. Speaker, because it has imploded so much that it can no longer be referred to as a political party. But allow me to present a snapshot of the damage caused by what I can only describe as Hurricane UWP, a Category 6 hurricane. During the period in question, Dominica had a significant poverty problem, with huge number of households, and the vast majority of the population was classified as poor. Poor. Indigence, a fancy term to mean extreme poverty, affected a large percentage of households. Poverty was prevalent in every community. Every community. 9 out of 10 indigenous persons were either poor and again indigent. The level of poverty in Dominica was the highest in the Eastern Caribbean. The highest in the Eastern Caribbean. The country faced very high overall unemployment rates, the highest ever witnessed in this country, and with women experiencing even a higher rate. At the time, Dominica lacked any significant social safety nets. There was no strong social programs, such as old age pensions, unemployment benefits, or health care. The most vulnerable in society was largely left to fend for themselves, an attribute of an uncaring government and party, the UWP. Mr. Speaker, let me share one piece of information again. One report said, the current economic situation in Dominica is uncertain and will inevitably lead to a further deterioration of poverty in the island. And this report was released in 2001. And this was a scientific study capturing what existed in Dominica during the time of UWP. What this report was warning, Mr. Speaker, is that if things continue as they are, many people on the island are going to end up living in poverty or struggling even more than they already are. Mr. Speaker, and I could go sector by sector of what this Labour Party inherited, but this exercise will take me an entire week, and I only asked 1 hour and a half. And if there's any doubt of the accuracy of what I said, I say to you, visit the UNDP website, visit the IMF website, and visit the CCDB website. Do your own research. Mr. Speaker, we must all agree that we're living in times when countries across the globe are facing serious challenges, some shared, others unique to a specific nation or region. Dominica is no exception. Dominica is no exception. Global realities such as inflation, armed conflicts, and the impact of climate change continue to affect countries and disrupt the daily lives of their citizens. We must understand that we operate in a global environment where policy decisions by world superpowers have frightening, long-lasting, and sometimes catastrophic impacts on small developing states like ours. With both global and domestic realities in mind, this budget was carefully crafted to ensure the continued implementation of national development projects while giving equal attention to the welfare and well-being of our people. I'm excited about the contents of this budget, and I'm even more pleased for the opportunities that it captures for the Castlebrooks people, the people of the Castlebrooks constituency, who I must admonish at this time, do not sleep on yourselves. Yes, do not sleep on yourselves. Step forward and seize the opportunities. And I say with all honesty and a deep sense of concern, because too many of you have become too far laid back, allowing good and positive opportunities to just pass you by. And it's about, oh, all you man and them people, and you just, give us some, be there, we're ready to help. Remember, time waits for no man. And when the government makes these opportunities available, you must take them seriously. You must come forward and take full advantage of these opportunities. Mr. Speaker, this government has become synonymous with the provision of safe and resilient housing for the people of Dominica. We have demonstrated time and time again through both policy and actions that housing is not a privilege for a few, but a right for all. Our unwavering focus on ensuring that every citizen, regardless of background or income level, has access to secure and dignified living conditions, whether through the construction of new homes, the rehabilitation of existing structures, the provision of loans at very low interest rates, or the development of entire communities, as we have done for displaced residents of Dubic and Pidi Savan, and now for the people of Campbell, as well as Pidi Soufriere, Sansove, and Gurup. This government is in fact reforming the housing landscape in Dominica. Our goal is clear, Mr. Speaker, to relocate families to safer, less vulnerable areas, reducing the exposure of the effects of natural disasters, and improving the overall quality of life. And now, with the introduction of a new initiative proposed in this year's budget, the Opportunity Knocks 2% housing program, another significant new door has opened. And Mr. Speaker, I like that name. OK 2HP, Gen Z language. This $10 million initiative will no doubt allow more Dominicans to build their homes, their own homes, creating warm, secure, and comfortable spaces for their families. Mr. Speaker, this will be an asset that belongs to them. And let us not forget that this is at the lowest rates this country has seen, 2%. And Mr. Speaker, it's only this Labour Party that's taking housing to across the country, widespread housing. Because before, building a house in Dominica was both a financial and psychological burden. Because when someone is to build a house for Mr. Speaker, on their own, go to the bank and so on, if the neighbor watch them too funny, they think the neighbor jealous them, And if they go to Roseau 1-2 times for material, they're going to get it and project stall for 2 weeks. Their next move is to buy all kind of asafoetida and J's and things and point their foundations into, to tie in their house. But right now, everybody building homes, Mr. Speaker. Everybody building homes. And this government provides wide support for persons who build in their homes. This is a timely and meaningful opportunity, one that police officers and public servants in the Castlebrooks constituency should take full advantage of. Take full advantage of this opportunity. And while I'm at that, I would like to offer my strong yet unsolicited advice to you. Build your homes in Castlebrooks and nowhere else. Build your homes in Castlebrooks and let us grow Let us continue to grow and invest in their own communities, solidifying the future of the communities within the constituency. Building castles, we have land. I go castles every day. And we have good road. Vince, of course. I drive up and down every day. Tonight I'm going up. What time is it? Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that the government will maintain all of its social safety net programs. In spite of criticisms leveled at the administration as it relates to the widening of the social safety nets, it has remained one of its core priorities. It is only those who don't care about people, those who lack empathy, who will criticize a government for being there for the people in need. That's right. While we continue to place the people of this country at the heart of national development, especially those who are most vulnerable. As a social worker, Mr. Speaker, I've seen clear evidence of how these social safety net programs create meaningful change to the lives of countless Dominicans. I continue to witness tangible improvements in the standard of living and the quality of life for many individuals and families, particularly those who once faced the daily realities of poverty. The social support systems not only provide financial relief, but also empower people to reclaim their dignity, pursue opportunities, and improve their overall well-being. That is what progress looks like when every citizen, regardless of their circumstances, has a fair chance to a better life. We'll continue to support the upward progress of all Dominicans and firmly reject, Mr. Speaker, this widely held misconception that social programs create dependency. Because there's a wealth of evidence demonstrating that when social support systems are properly designed and implemented, with empowerment at their core, they effectively reduce poverty and improve long-term outcomes for individuals and families, and that is what we are doing. Our goal of a government is not to foster dependence, but to ensure that every Dominican has the tools and support that they need to live with dignity, contribute meaningfully to society, and break the cycle of poverty for good. Because when an elderly person who has worked their entire lives and reaches the age of retirement without a pension or social security, they have effectively lost their independence. Without a stable income, they are left with few choices: rely on their children, if those children are financially capable to help, or depend on the kindness of strangers. Let's be clear, it's not about dependency, this is about survival. It is unjust to label someone in this situation as dependent, when in truth, they are trying to meet the most basic human needs. As a government, we have a responsibility and moral duty to ensure that no individual dies of hunger or is forced to live in undignified conditions. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, consider the case of a mother of 6 children who received no support whatsoever from the father. For her, the welfare system she receives is not a luxury. This is the means by which she's able to feed her children. The free textbooks, uniforms, and school transportation are what make it possible for children to attend school and have a fair chance for a better future. This is what the Labour Party government is doing. Mr. Speaker, what we have done and continue to do is implement a responsible and dynamic approach to social support. As family begin to move from one socioeconomic bracket to the next, whether due to children becoming older and parents getting meaningful employment, we gradually reduce and in some cases withdrawn certain benefits. This is a deliberate and measured strategy. It ensures that resources are directed to those who need it the most, while encouraging upward mobility and self-reliance when circumstances improve. Our social programs, they are not static. They are designed to respond to the evolving needs of individuals and families, supporting them when necessary and empowering them always. Mr. Speaker, the cost of living continues to be a real and pressing challenge for many, not just here in Dominica, but across the globe. It is clearly not only a Dominica issue. In fact, during the most recent US election, an event which I believe was closely followed by every Dominican, we saw that inflation and the rising cost of living were among the most prevailing issues on the campaign trail. One candidate, Mr. Speaker, even had a special campaign event where he showcased basic grocery items and highlighted how inflation had impacted the everyday American. At one point, eggs were being compared to as gold because people simply couldn't afford to buy eggs in the US. To put things into perspective, Mr. Speaker, egg prices in the US remain 27% higher than it were in 2024. Eggs. How much did I get? 25 cents, 50 cents? We buy about like $4, right? Cereal, Mr. Speaker, in the US rose by 24%. Cookies, biscuit, 28%. Bread rose by 25%. Milk as high as 59% in some states. And the list goes on. In some US states, the total increase in household food bills reached as high as 51%. Mr. Speaker, and we're feeling it here, because why? We get less barrels in Dominica, right? We get less barrels. For your family to make a barrel for you now in the US, they have to come up with 1,000 US, that's 2,700 EC. So it's now easier for them to send you 200 US by MoneyGram than to send you a barrel. Mr. Speaker, during Christmas time, when man used to go and collect barrel from customs, vehicles used to park under the cliff, Vehicles under the cliff. Port used to stay open on Saturdays and Sundays. When last we drove up to Gasper's Mills and saw a barrel in a van? People don't get barrel anymore. Because the cost of living is affecting everybody across the globe. And in the US as well. Don't ask for a barrel, I don't want a second barrel. I don't mean that. Mr. Speaker, the global crisis in food and living costs continue to contribute to the challenges we experience here at home. And we must be fair and honest enough to admit that these challenges is not a result of the action of the government. In fact, this government has taken decisive and proactive steps to reduce the burden on our citizens in the past. We have removed custom duties and value-added tax on a wide range of essential goods, measures specifically intended to ease the cost of living for every Dominican. And in this current budget, we have gone even further. The list of items, exempted items, has been created to include more necessities because we recognize the urgency of this matter. And the expectation is clear. If these taxes are completely removed, then the prices of these basic goods should reflect that reduction when it reached the supermarket shelves. But alas, 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 Mr. Speaker, this is not always the case. Despite government efforts to bring relief to consumers, we continue to see instances where the benefits of these tax removals are not being fully passed on to our people. They're not being passed on to the people. It seems like every business wants to make some abnormal or supernatural profits. So, Mr. Speaker, for the love of God, I sincerely hope and pray that with the vast expansion of essential items now being exempted from custom duties and VAT, the people of Dominica will begin to see a real adjustment in the cost of food on the shelf. Because this is the intention of this policy, to bring meaningful relief to the people. It's not only fair that the benefits of these removals, it is only fair, that the benefits of these removals be passed on to the consumers. Mr. Speaker, this budget is reaching opportunities for the people of the country and will surely keep Dominica on a steady path of growth and development. And I am particularly optimistic what lies for the people of the Cottage constituency. The completion of the $225 million road project is complete to our end. With that infrastructure now in place, we are in a stronger position more than ever to take full advantage of the opportunities that come to enhance connectivity, whether in agriculture, tourism, small business development, or in general. However, Mr. Speaker, I must be honest. I believe that we are not doing enough to maximize the opportunities on that part of the island. It's no criticism, but consider it a call to action to encourage the people of the Cottage constituency to step up your game, engage more actively to reap the full benefits of the investments that this government has made. Mr. Speaker, I urge the people of the Cottage constituency to seize the opportunity that is present in this budget. We must take advantage of the growing potential of Airbnb and village stay accommodations, especially as our road infrastructure now positions us to attract more visitors seeking an authentic country experience. We must also capitalize on the rebates and incentives being afforded to farmers, which are designed to boost agricultural production and economic benefit to the farmers. For the Dominica Youth Business Trust, young entrepreneurs have access to training and startup support. This is an avenue we must fully embrace to empower our youth in our constituency. Our fishermen, the completion of the landing site in Saint-Sauveur will unlock new potential in the fishing sector, opening doors for improved storage, market access, and increased income. Additionally, the allocation of $2 million at 2% in the aid bank for educational support is another major opportunity. This investment can help more of our young people pursue higher education and skills. Mr. Speaker, I also must express my strong desire to see the start and completion of the basketball hard court and playing field in Cottage during this financial year. Great are you too, bang! And Oscar. Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge and I agree that our sportsmen and sportswomen in the Cottage constituency have been exceptionally patient. And I know people like Murky and Alma, because they're not easy, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that. The basketballers. And Mr. Speaker, while I was writing on Saturday, a young guy in Casabruz, his name is Ryan Cognet, sent me a WhatsApp saying he wants to have a meeting, talk about volleyball. So Minister of Sports, volleyball. And volleyball is the only sport I play. The only sport I play is volleyball. So now that this young one wants to set up a volleyball team, we will support him, but we need the court. And I have received the assurance that the hard courts will be upgraded this financial year, and we will see some work on the playing field. Mr. Speaker, I want him down. The community of Casabruz prepares to welcome our residents of the diaspora for the Casabruz Family and Friends Reunion. And I too stand ready to warmly to receive all of them. The reunion is scheduled to run from August 10th to 17th. It is a homecoming, time to reconnect and celebrate as a community. And for those sorry who are returning home, to recommit themselves for the continued advancement of the village. I take the opportunity to thank the government of Dominica for its full and unwavering support for making this activity possible. I especially thank Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for always standing with the Casabruz people. The government financial contribution towards preparing the community and supporting the slate of social activities mean a great deal to us, and it has not gone unnoticed. On a more personal note, I wish to thank all the government ministers, Mr. Speaker, all of them that I call from time to time for support for people, the permanent secretaries, and the public servants, whom I sometimes call and visit on behalf of the Casabruz people. Your support.
1 minute.
I'm good. Your support does not only benefit individual constituents, but also strengthens the efforts of our parliamentary representative, the Honorable Octavia Alfred. As Minister of Education and parliamentary representative, Honorable Alfred carries a significant load. In that regard, I continue to play my part to support her efforts and, by extension, the work of the government in advancing the lives of the loving and wonderful people of the constituents. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this 2025-2026 budget is a clear and thoughtful investment in the lives, dreams, and future of the Dominican people. It shows that your government is listening, responding, and acting with purpose to uplift citizens, cushion the pressures of global realities, and create new paths of opportunity and growth. I am really encouraged by what this budget means for the people of the Casabruz constituency. From infrastructure to agriculture, from education to youth development, from social protection to community life, this budget touches lives. A budget which focuses on the growth sectors of the economy, that focuses on job creation and empowerment. As I continue to support the efforts of the parliamentary representative and this government, I reaffirm my commitment to working even harder to ensure that the policies, programs, and projects of this budget are not only implemented, but truly felt by the people on the ground. Let us take the next step together for the good of our people, with a greater sense of determination
15 seconds.
and love of country, as we all strive to build a strong and more resilient Dominica. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House be suspended, be adjourned till Tuesday 29th at 9 a.m. in view of the fact that most of us will be attending the official funeral of Mr. Jerry Ed at 2 p.m. So considering this, I think it's wise that we begin at 9 a.m. in the interest of time.
It has been moved and seconded that the House be suspended Adjourned to 9 a.m. Tuesday, 29 July 2025. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. House stands adjourned until 9 a.m. Tuesday, 29th July 2025.